All right, so today I had a break even day and I decided to go over it just because I feel like it's important to journal missed trades. Now, normally I would not take this trade just because it happened a bit later in the day. Normally, when I do take my A plus setup, I expect it to happen from 9:45 to 10:15, fresh right after market open and then a continuation. This morning though, we definitely had an idea of where price wanted to go, but it stalled for a bit and then the move happened. But anyways, zooming out here, this big zone here, which honestly I didn't like just because it's a pretty wide zone. It's 2,000 ticks. So what I did was I did mark out this 4 hour zone, and on the 1 hour time frame, there is also another supply zone, right? So what I did was I put a line there, and then I wrote down 1 hour supply zone just so I know that specifically the 1 hour time frame is there, which we had a perfect reaction towards. But unfortunately, I didn't take that sell. I didn't feel comfortable taking it just because personally, for me, I don't like trading within the first 15-minute range, right? So this is what my yellow lines are. It's a 15-minute high and low. Okay, that's what it is. Normally, I wait for a breakout and then a continuation. So today what happened was there was a little breakout to the upside, but there was no continuation, right? So I didn't take this buy at all. And also, I was pretty scared to buy in since we were tapping into a 1 hour zone, which luckily I put there because I wasn't going to do that, but I decided to do it again just so I know it's there. It's not for me to take a trade off of, it's just letting me know that it's going to be a potential trade. Now, zooming in to the trade that I actually took, which it's not a horrible trade because this is my usual setup. The trade was something like this. Originally, let's go on the 5 minute time frame because that's where I put my stop loss and everything. I think. Okay, no, it wasn't. Yeah, so it was on the 1 minute time frame. So originally, I got into shorts. Once I saw this 1 minute candle close below my yellow line, which again is a 15-minute opening range low, and then I saw a continuation down, I decided to take a short. My entry was somewhere up here. Once I saw it pushing down really nice, I added into this, so my entry got moved a bit down. Yeah, so my original trade was something like this. Okay. And then once I added, my entry got moved down, so I had to move my stop loss down. I risked $600, okay? And at one point, I was up 1-to-1. So my entry was actually something like this because I was risking $600. Once I saw I was up $600 on the trade, I was up 1-to-1. I broke even. Why? Because I don't feel comfortable being up a 1-to-1 and then losing the trade, right? Plus, I feel like once a trade is at a 1-to-1, it should be easy to take TP2, right? If you just let the trade play out, it should be easy. If price wanted to go to your TP2, it would. At least for Nasdaq, right? Because it moves fast. But I was up a 1-to-1. That's literally the only reason why I broke even. And also, another thing that made me really break even was this 5 minute candle close, which again, I don't like for sellers. I would have loved to see this 5 minute candle close below my 50% line, which I forgot to talk about. Jeez. This was the trade that I took the zone that I took the trade off of was, and I know it looks a bit messy. It's really not. It's just because I'm zoomed in. But yeah, it was this 30-minute demand zone, which I really liked because we had previous reactions off of it right here. So that also made me confident enough to take the trade, right? Because if, price had already had a nice rejection from it, then I can expect another good rejection or reaction from it. Okay. But yeah, took us out there expecting these lows to be broken and then a continuation down to the next area of interest, which for me was the next area of demand, which was a 3 hour, I think. I'm pretty sure it was a 3 hour. Yes, it's very tiny. Um, it's this one right here. It's a 3 hour demand zone. So that was gonna be my next area of interest. So that's why the TP was like that. But yeah, literally hit 1 to 1 after I saw. I went break even once I saw I was up $600, risking $600, and of course, seeing this 5 minute candle close reject the 50% line perfectly was also another hint to just be more cautious. So, am I upset that later in the day, the trade happened perfectly? Because I was actually in the chart still around this time. And I was going to take a short, but I didn't because I didn't see a candle close below my 50% line plus a continuation. If I just waited a couple more minutes, which personally, it's not really my thing to take a trade at 11, just because I feel like if the move happens later in the day, then obviously the price action in the morning wasn't the best. And if the price action in the morning isn't the best, most likely in the afternoon, the price action is not going to be the best. Yes, the move happened to the downside, but then look what happened for the rest of the day. It consolidated and then it went back up. Okay, not the best trending day, right? So, am I upset that I missed a trade? No, because the system still works, right? The trade that I would have taken here was a candle close below my 50% line and then that continuation, which is right here. So the trade that I coulda, shoulda, would have taken is something like this. Stop loss up here. And then either aim for this, the next area of interest, or again, the next area of interest. So, really quick, just wanted to kind of journal my missed trade. And I want to get used to talking about the trades that I take because not only am I showing other people my strategy and kind of teaching it, but I'm also kind of teaching myself, right? So I could look back at it and learn. So if you've been thinking about starting a YouTube channel, just start it, okay? And start journaling yourself. That's kind of what I'm doing with my YouTube. And yeah, it's just a great way to look back at your trades and you as a trader because I feel like my mindset before, even before when I started YouTube, if I took this trade, first of all, before I would take way more than one trade, right? I would take 10 plus trades a day and then I'd be very upset. But now the good change is taking a break even trade and being fine with walking away, being fine with missing out on these trades. And I was telling my community that this week is going to get crazy, right? We have a bunch of we have a bunch of earnings coming out for very important companies, right? We have Meta, Microsoft, and what's the other one? I forgot the other company, but very important earnings are going to come out that is going to affect Nasdaq, which again, it has been a pretty crazy month. And what I was going to say is that I was telling my team that the market's been very volatile and it's going to continue to be volatile. You have to be fine with missing out on some trades. You have to be fine with missing out on some movements. It's going to happen in trading. You can't catch every single movement. If you stress over catching every single movement, trust me, you are not going to see more money in your bank account. You're just not, because you're full of FOMO, right? And you're falling into the FOMO by chasing trades. You have to have the mindset of, if it comes to me, it comes to me. I'm going to be patient for it either way. You know, be patient for your A plus setup. Journal, track your data, keep your head up. Remember, patience is key, and the hard work in trading is patience. So, with that being said, if you guys want to trade live with me Monday through Friday and join my Sunday psychology calls, the link is below. And thank you guys for watching.